welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into your materials on somatic exercises, specifically looking at them for weight loss.
Yeah, and our goal here for you listening is to understand how this, gentler approach to movement can actually play a part in managing weight.
Right.
And importantly, how it works kind of beyond just counting calories,
Exactly. So first things first, what are somatic exercises? Your sources point back to Thomas Hanna back in the 70s. Think of it like, neuromuscular re-education. It uses very focused, conscious movement.
Right. The idea is to release that chronic muscle tension people hold on to and improve posture, sharpen your body awareness.
Awareness of what your body's actually feeling.
Precisely. And the core concept, it's about kind of resetting the nervous system.
Resetting it. How so?
Well, addressing the stress, the pain, the stiffness that just builds up. Our bodies hold on to this stuff. Somatics offers a way to gently explore and maybe change those default tension patterns.
Okay, that makes sense. Which leads us straight to the big question, probably why you're tuning in. How can gentle movement, of all things, help with weight loss? Let's unpack that.
Yeah, definitely need to look beyond just calories in, calories out, though that matters, of course.
Of course.
But your sources highlight 4 main ways somatic exercises can support things.
Okay, let's break those down. First up, stress reduction. We hear about stress all the time, but the specific link to weight.
It really comes down to cortisol, that stress hormone.
Ah, cortisol, right.
When we're chronically stressed, levels stay high. And that's linked to, emotional eating, for one.
Comfort eating.
Yeah, and also a tendency to store fat, especially around the middle. Your sources actually cite research, I think it was the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, suggesting practices like these could potentially lower cortisol by up to 20%.
20%, wow. That's quite a bit. Makes you think, doesn't it? How much tension are we just carrying?
Exactly. Less stress, maybe less emotional eating, maybe even effects where fat is stored. It adds up.
Okay, powerful connection there. Mechanism number 2.
Improve metabolism. Now, think about it. When your body moves more freely, with less chronic tension.
Things just work better.
Essentially, yes. Processes like digestion, circulation, they tend to become more efficient. It fosters a more balanced internal state, which supports your metabolism overall.
So it's less about the immediate calorie burn during the exercise, and more about creating a healthier metabolic environment long term. Got it. Okay, number 3.
Number 3 is developing more mindful eating habits.
Ah, the awareness piece again.
Exactly, that heightened body awareness we mentioned. When you're really tuned into your body's signals, hunger, fullness, even subtle discomforts.
You actually listen to them.
You're better equipped to know when you've had enough. You're less likely to just eat on autopilot or because of emotions.
That feels like a really fundamental shift. Listening inwards, not just outwards.
Yeah.
Okay, and the 4th mechanism.
And finally, number 4 is gentle muscle activation. Now, somatics isn't like heavy weightlifting, obviously.
Right, not about bulking up.
No, but the gentle engagement, the toning it provides. It can contribute, maybe subtly, to a slightly higher resting metabolic rate over time.
So burning a few more calories, even at rest.
Just nudging things in the right direction, every little bit helps contribute to the bigger picture.
So putting it all together, stress reduction, better metabolism support, mindful eating, gentle muscle activation, it really paints this holistic picture.
It does. It addresses factors often missed in standard weight loss talk.
Okay, this is where it gets practical. Let's talk about some actual exercises. Beginner-friendly ones so you can get a real sense of what these movements feel like.
Good idea. Let's start simple. Pelvic tilts.
Okay.
So you're lying on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Just gently tilt your pelvis up. Your lower back will flatten a bit against the floor.
Okay, I can picture that.
Hold that gentle feeling for maybe 5 seconds. Then slowly release back to neutral. It seems small, but it's great for waking up those deep core muscles and improving lower spine flexibility. Sometimes just easing back tension helps people be more active generally.
Yeah, I can see how that subtle movement could release a lot down there. What's another one?
How about the cat-cow stretch? Most people know this one.
Oh, yeah, from yoga.
Often, yes. You're on hands and knees. Inhale. Drop the belly, lift the chest and head, that's the cow. Exhale, round the spine, up towards the ceiling, tuck the cat. That fluid movement feels good on the spine. Plus, it gently massages the digestive organs, can actually help with digestion.
So taking a familiar stretch, but adding that somatic focus, that internal awareness.
Yeah.
And you mentioned somatic rolling. That sounds interesting.
It is. It's almost like giving yourself a gentle internal massage.
How does it work?
You lie on your side, knees maybe slightly bent, and then you just very slowly, very mindfully roll a little bit forward, a little bit backward. You're paying super close attention to any sensations, any tightness, maybe in the hips or shoulders especially. No forcing.
Just exploring the movement.
Exactly. It helps release that built-up tension, boosts mobility, and, tight hips or shoulders. They affect posture, how we move, which can indirectly affect our energy use.
Those all sound really accessible. Things people could try quite easily. Now let's go a bit deeper into the why. The science behind how these gentle moves have these bigger effects.
Right. This brings us back squarely to the nervous system, specifically activating the parasympathetic nervous system.
It's the rest and digest system, right? The opposite of fight or flight.
Exactly. Fight or flight is the sympathetic system. Somatic exercises, with their mindful, gentle quality, basically signal to your body, it's safe, you can relax now.
So we're consciously shifting gears away from stress mode.
Precisely. And like we said, that shift helps lower cortisol, interrupts that stress weight gain cycle.
Okay.
But there's more. Research also suggests these practices can improve insulin sensitivity.
Insulin sensitivity, meaning our body uses sugar better.
In simple terms, yes. Your cells become more responsive to insulin, the hormone that manages blood sugar and fat metabolism. Better sensitivity means your body's more likely to use glucose for energy instead of storing it as fat.
So it's not just about feeling calmer. There are real physiological shifts happening. Hormonal metabolic changes that actually support weight management. That's really important to grasp.
Definitely.
Okay, so for you listening, thinking, all right, this sounds good, but how do I actually fit this in? Especially if weight loss is part of my goal.
Yeah, that's crucial. Your sources are really clear on this. Somatics is best seen as part of the picture, a complementary practice.
Not a magic bullet on its own.
No, definitely not. It works best alongside other healthy habits.
And what are those other key habits the sources mention?
Pretty consistently, they recommend a balanced diet focused on whole foods, less processed stuff.
Makes sense.
Also, moderate cardio things like walking, swimming, maybe cycling, whatever you enjoy.
Right.
And this is a big one, prioritizing sleep. Good sleep hygiene is vital for hormone balance, recovery, huge impact on weight.
So it's really about building this whole sustainable lifestyle where somatics supports everything else. Now, your sources also mentioned somatic yoga. How does that differ or fit in?
It's basically a blend. It takes traditional yoga poses but applies those core somatic principles we've discussed.
So less about just getting the shape right.
And more about the internal feeling, the awareness within the pose, understanding the subtle movements in your own body, feeling it, not just performing it.
Are there specific poses often highlighted in somatic yoga for these benefits?
Yeah, a few pop up regularly. Child's pose, wonderful for releasing the lower back and hips, very calming. Bridge pose, good for glutes, obviously, but also thought to subtly support thyroid function, which links to metabolism.
Interesting.
And poses like twisted belly pose are great for sort of gently stimulating digestion and release through the torso. It's just another avenue to explore that mind-body connection.
So if you're already drawn to yoga, adding that somatic layer could make it even richer, more internally focused. Okay, practical next steps. Someone's inspired, wants to try. Where's a good, easy place to start?
Your sources suggest a great, very doable 7-day beginner routine.
Okay.
For the first 3 days, just 15 minutes, focus on those pelvic tilts we talked about, the cat-cow stretch, and diaphragmatic breathing, that deep belly breathing. It's fundamental in somatics for calming the nervous system.
15 minutes, 3 core things. Sounds manageable. What about the rest of the week, days 4 to 7?
Then you gradually add in the somatic rolling, exploring hips and shoulders, and maybe some very gentle lunges just to bring the legs in a bit more, but always keeping that focus on internal feeling, moving with ease.
Okay. And if people want to keep going after that week, are there free resources easily available?
Oh, absolutely. Loads of good stuff online for free. YouTube has channels like Somatic Movement Center, Essential Somatics.
Yeah.
Lots of guided practices there.
Okay, YouTube channels, good tip.
And even popular apps like Daily Yoga often has a free version, or Down Dog. They frequently include somatic style classes or routines. So really accessible ways for you to start exploring without any cost.
That's super helpful, having specific places to look. Now, like with anything, it helps to hear from real people, get a balanced view. What are people saying about their experiences using somatics for weight loss or well-being?
Yeah, the sources shared some good real-world examples. On the plus side, you hear from someone like Sarah, 34, I think, lost 8 pounds in 2 months, Didn't really diet, but notice her stress eating just stopped.
Wow, the stress-eating connection again.
Exactly. And Mark, another example, said improving his posture through somatic just made him feel and look slimmer right away.
Those are great outcomes. And not just about the scale number either. But what about the other side? Challenges, criticisms.
Definitely need realistic expectations. Someone named Jenna found the results slower compared to, say, HIIT workouts, high-intensity stuff.
Right, it's a different pace.
And Tom mentioned it takes patience. You need consistency to really see and feel the bigger changes.
That's a really important point for you listening. This isn't likely a quick fix. It's maybe more of a gentle, sustainable path.
Exactly. And recognizing the benefits often go way beyond weight. Less pain, better sleep, just feeling more connected to your own body.
So let's tie this all together for you. What's the main takeaway here about somatic exercises and weight loss?
I think the core message is that somatics offers this gentle, but potentially quite profound way to support weight management. It does it by deepening your connection with your body and addressing that often missed role of the nervous system in our overall health.
And it really is so much more than just weight loss, potentially.
Yeah.
There's this whole range of benefits for just feeling better overall.
Absolutely. Forget the scale for a moment. You might find you feel less stressed day to day, your posture improves, maybe you stand taller, feel more balanced, and you just get way better at understanding what your body's actually telling you it needs, which really lines up with wanting that deeper, fuller understanding of things.
So here's a final thought for you to consider as you go about your day. What if consciously taking just a moment, right now even, to release tension you might be holding, maybe in your jaw, your shoulders, wherever? What if that small act could create positive ripples, affecting other parts of your well-being, maybe in ways you haven't even considered yet? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.